The first question that everyone seemed to ask is, did you drive Hudsons in your youth?
Well, yes, I sure did. But basically, the history of the Hudson Club has to go back to 1930, when my dad, Sam Marks, bought his first Essex, a used one-year-old 29 Essex sedan. And up till then, he had had 3 brand new Pontiacs, and every one of them gave trouble before the first year was up. But he bought this year-old Essex and used it for 5 years, all through the Depression, and he had such good reliability from that car that when I decided I wanted a car, that's what I looked for. I had to find an Essex. As long as Dad had that car, he never burned a bearing, never broke a piston, never burned out the clutch in it. In 1956, I bought the 54 Super Wasp in Clearwater on a used car lot. It only had 6,000 miles on it, and it was a $3,200 car, and I got it for $1,600, actual one-half of the original price. And I got over 50,000 miles on those original points and plugs and tires. That was a car I had after we started the club in '59. I had restored a 29 Essex Roadster, and I used that 54 Super Wasp to tow the Roadster to Natural Bridge, Virginia for our first annual meet.
Well, that brings us to the formation of the club then. I was a senior in high school. I remember working with you on that, and Mother, of course, was very involved in it. But what sparked the thought of forming an HET club?
Well, when they merged with Nash and moved all the works to Kenosha, then in '57 it even dropped Hudson and Nash completely. 2 years later, we realized that parts were going to get scarce. And of course, that we were quite sure the Hudson dealers were going to be getting rid of all their parts. And we knew that there was quite a stock of supply of parts all over the country, and we wanted to get in on those. And also, while a lot of these rare and unusual models were on the road and still available, as it was, even when we started the club, we missed out on some rare and unusual models that had been junked within the last 6 months after we started the club.
Well, how did you actually go about founding it? I know Maurice West in Oklahoma has a little treasure that he likes to show people.
I know that he still has the original card I mailed him in, I think, about 1960, and it was published in one of the chapter bulletins recently, and he's quite proud of that. And the article in the editor had put in there, how many of you ever saw one of these? And what we did, we printed up 160 postcards to tell about the history of, or to tell about beginning the Hudson Club. And at that time, the dues were only $2 a year. And when we mailed them out, within 2 weeks, we had 30 members. By October 3rd of 1959, we had 30 members that paid their $2. So we started to publish a mimeograph bulletin right away.
Which is responsible for the success of the club, you think, most, the cars or the members?
Well, it was the cars in the first place, but now that we've got together, we found out that the members are the cohesiveness of the club. I always said anybody could put up with a cork clutch running in oil and splash lubrication had to be a very special kind of person. So when we get together at these HET meets, those people who really like their Hudson seem to be a very fine, helpful, kind, considerate group of people. From the time we meet, we're almost like we've known each other all our lives.
How many years were you president then, and did you enjoy setting up the guidelines for the club?
Well, I was president for the first 5 years, and then when I couldn't go to Dearborn for the 5th annual meet, by that time Doc Doherty had become treasurer. And I told him that when he went to Dearborn, he was to bring it up that they ought to elect a new president. And it was at Dearborn that he took a vote of the membership there, and they voted to give me life membership in the club and honored me for being editor and president for the first 5 years, from 1959 to 1965. So I've been quite proud of that.